Hi everybody, welcome to the KryptoKitchen. Today we're going to make a Chicken Cordon Bleu Lasagna. However, we're going to substitute the lasagna noodles with a gluten-free crepe. Pretty much standard crepe recipe that you can use. I happen to use Julia Child's. And everything's made up already. So I'm just going to go ahead and put together the quote-unquote lasagna. And we'll just run through it. Everything is pre-cooked. We got our chicken, we got our ham, we have the crepes. Again, these are gluten-free. We have a recipe for gluten-free flour if you want to make your own. It actually tastes better than your regular wheat flour. And then we have cheese, and then we have a white sauce that I made up after cooking the homegrown. It's a homegrown chicken. And the ham is not homegrown. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put it together. And what you do for these is you put a little sauce on the bottom of the pan. Now the reason we're not, you can actually roll these if you wanted to and serve them separately, but we're feeding the crowd, we're feeding the crowd today, probably about 15 people or so. So what we want to do is, this is a much easier way to feed a crowd rather than rolling each separate one and then trying to serve it. So go ahead and coat the bottom of the pan so it doesn't stick and it doesn't burn. You don't have to be afraid to put a little extra on there. Now if you want to get super fancy here as far as putting the crepes on, you could actually square them off if you wanted to. So you would take your crepe, cut off the edges, and make it look nice and neat if you were worried about pleasing the crowd, so to speak. So all we're going to do is just lay them in. And the reason for the gluten-free is that there's a lot of food allergies out there. And people really appreciate the fact that they can eat a lasagna without having to worry about the gluten in the flour. Now for the bottom, it doesn't matter because you're going to have a good side and a bad side on a crepe, so to speak. So the bottom portion doesn't necessarily matter as far as looks are concerned for presentation. And we'll just line these. A double batch of crepes. Make sure you get the wax paper off. A double batch, and you don't need any machinery. Probably will make about 8 to 10 crepes is probably what you need. Right now there are 6 crepes right in there. And then we'll go ahead and break this one in half. Fill up the edge. All right, so now we'll go ahead and build. We're going to go ahead and build a lasagna. So we'll go ahead. We're just going to make it one layer. Put your meat down. You can put a little bit of sauce. Doesn't necessarily matter that much if you put that sauce down first. And we've actually made a regular lasagna doing the same method with the crepes. People really like it. People enjoy it. So you just go ahead and add your ingredients. And we're just using chicken. It's a homegrown chicken and some ham here. So I put the cheese on along with the ham and chicken. In this particular case, you want to use a white cheese. I used a combination of Parmesan, provolone, and Swiss. So it's up to you what kind of cheese that you want to use. And again, you just have to eyeball the amount. So what I'm going to do now is put the cover on, if you will. And for presentation, you want to have your better looking side, actually, facing upwards to make it appealing to the eye. So we'll go ahead and put these on here. Make sure you don't have any wax paper on there, otherwise people will be chewing that up. Not to say that that's never happened before. And then we'll go ahead and cover the lasagna here. And then we'll put the sauce on the top. Just a coating, so it doesn't dry out. So here's the final product, if you will. I went ahead and put a little bit of sauce on the top. What we're going to do is put it in the oven at 350, probably for about an hour, hour and a half or so. You've got to check that, and everything's already cooked. So essentially, you're just warming it up. And if you're wondering with what kind of wine to serve with this, probably a Chardonnay, something along those lines, would go very well with this. Now I left a little extra sauce so that when we cook it and we serve, we can go ahead and cut a piece and put a little bit of sauce on the top in order to give it a really nice look. It really looks nice. So again, the recipe is the Chicken Cordon Bleu Lasagna. However, we used gluten-free crepes, which you can get just a standard crepe recipe. It doesn't have to be gluten-free. I just happen to like the flavor of it. We have our own mix that we use, and it is quite tasty. So go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel. We're also on Facebook as well as Arts&Smarts, and you can contact us there if you have any questions. Let us know, and be happy to help you out. Thanks again. This is the Crypto Kitchen. Bye now. Well, go ahead and come back tomorrow, Monday, the 15th, where we'll be doing our second eggisode with homegrown eggs, a little bit of Thrive, and also we'll be making omelets. Show you how easy it is to make that. Thanks again. Come see us.